Hello everyone, we're on chapter 12, and chapter 12 is called Moral Imagination, Darwinism, and Morality. So we're going to just do probably paragraph 1 today, and that's pretty long. So let's get started. A free spirit acts according to his impulses, that is, according to intuitions selected from the totality of his world of ideas by thinking. For an unfree spirit, the reason why he singles out a particular intuition from his world of ideas in order to make it the basis of an action, he lies in the world of percepts given to him, that is, in his past experiences. He recalls, before coming to a decision, what someone else has done or recommended as suitable in a comparable case, or what God has commanded to be done in such a case, and so on, and he acts accordingly. For a free spirit, these prior conditions are not the only impulses to action. He makes a completely first-hand decision. What others have done in such a case worries him as little as what they have decreed. He has purely ideal reasons which lead him to select from the sum of his concepts just one in particular, and then to translate it into action. But his action will belong to perceptible reality. What he achieves will thus be identical with a quite definite content of perception. The concept will have to realize itself in a single concrete occurrence. As a concept, it will not be able to contain this particular event. It will refer to the event only in the same way as a concept is in general related to a percept. For example, the concept of the lion to a particular lion. The link between concept and percept is the mental picture. See chapter 6. For the unfree spirit, this link is given from the outset. Motives are present in his consciousness from the outset in the form of mental pictures. Whenever there is something he wants to carry out, he does it as he has seen it done, or as he has been told to do in the particular case. Hence, authority works best through examples, that is, through providing quite definite particular actions for the consciousness of the unfree spirit. A Christian acts not so much according to the teachings as according to the example of the Savior. Rules have less value for acting positively than for refraining from certain actions. Laws take on the form of general concepts only when they forbid actions, but not when they prescribe them. Laws concerning what he ought to do must be given to the unfree spirit in quite concrete form. Clean the street in front of your door, pay your taxes amounting to the sum here, given to the tax office at X, and so on. Conceptual form belongs to laws for inhibiting actions. Thou shalt not steal, thou shalt not commit adultery. These laws, too, influence the unfree spirit only by means of a concrete mental picture. For example, that of the appropriate secular punishment, or the pangs of consciousness, or eternal damnation, and so on. And paragraph 1 is summarized as follows. A free spirit acts according to his impulses, to the intuition selected from the totality of his world of ideas by thinking. For an unfree spirit, he chooses an intuition based on the world of percepts given, that is, past experience, or on what others have done or recommend. The unfree spirit is given mental pictures as opposed to making his own. Okay, so this paragraph, he starts off by pointing out how a free spirit acts. He's already talked about this, but he's just repeating himself. He just says a free spirit acts according to his impulses, that is, according to intuitions selected from the totality of his world of ideas by thinking. And he says, for an unfree spirit, the reason why he singles out a particular intuition from his world of ideas in order to make it the basis of an action lies in the world of percepts given to him, that is, in his past experiences. So in this paragraph, what he's doing is he's pointing out the ways in which an unfree person is influenced in their actions. As he says, the free person basically, acts according to each situation. So a free person isn't just specifically looking to their past for their motives for action. They're assessing the situation as is, and they're not looking at people's pasts and what other people have done. They're doing what they think is best for this situation. So as he points out again in this paragraph, he says the link between concept and percept is the mental picture, and the mental picture provides the motive for an action, which he talked about in chapter 6. So an unfree spirit already has these mental pictures that were given to him. So an unfree spirit is given mental pictures. And anytime, as he says earlier as well, we're neither free or unfree. We're always partially free, partially unfree. So, if we look at ourselves, we need to realize that, we have these mental pictures in our mind that have been given to us, and we haven't really decided whether we like them or not and what to do with them, because maybe we don't need them anymore and need to just learn to, create our own mental pictures, which is what a free spirit does. A free spirit, as he mentions earlier in chapter 6, the free spirit creates their own mental pictures, whereas the unfree spirit has them given to them. And it's usually given to them by an authority, such as someone at the church or someone at work. And for these organizations, usually the mental picture is given as an example. And in this paragraph, he says, a Christian acts not so much according to the teachings as according to the example of the Savior. So there's lots of examples of, where they talk about Christ not punishing people or whatnot, being compassionate. So the unfree spirit gets these mental pictures of how other people behave in these circumstances, which is, nothing wrong in itself, but that's not, the goal is to be a free spirit. So it's, it's not about just hearing stories, it's about really doing what you think is best as well. The other thing he talks about in this paragraph is the other way a person is influenced to be unfree is basically via laws. So laws, as he mentions, either forbids actions and can also give rules for humans to follow. An example he gives is giving taxes. So basically this paragraph is just starting to talk about how an unfree person is influenced in their actions, and basically points out how mental pictures are given to them rather than they're creating their own, which is the difference between an unfree spirit and a free spirit, because as he mentions, the basis for action begins with the mental picture, and a free spirit has the mental picture they create of their own free will, whereas an unfree person will be given the mental picture and may not even be aware of it. So that's what he's pointing out in this paragraph. So that's all we're going to cover for today. Have a good day. Bye.